Hi there everyone, Rob here with today's Western Pacific weather update. It's currently the 31st of May 2012, and out here in the Western Pacific we are concentrating on one area just towards the east of the Philippines, and that it could potentially be developing up here. And it is our Invest 95W has been upgraded to a medium area by Joint Typhoon Warning Center. JMA also has it stamped as a low area here, and PAGASA a low pressure area, and they actually are also talking about the potential for development out of this storm system. So let's talk about what it is current. Well, it is flaring up lots of convection in the last several hours. Lots of moisture down here towards the south, just south of Mindanao and also south of Palau. This is the intertropical convergence zone, so plenty of moisture being fed into it. At this time, it does look like shear is relatively low, about 5 to 10 knots over top of it. You need more than about 15 to 20 knots for a storm to not really want to develop. On top of that, it is getting just north of the 10-degree line. That's this line right in here. Usually what we call the go-no-go line. North of that, you have enough Coriolis force to develop that cyclonic circulation in these storms, but south of it really doesn't actually get enough. It happens from time to time, but really once you get north of that line. But also, if we take a look at the sea surface temperatures courtesy of Weather Underground is where this map is coming from, you can see that above 30 degrees Celsius is all across the Philippine Sea right now. It's quite a spa out here, and that is going to be resulting in lots of latent heat coming out of the sea surface and providing plenty of energy for this storm system to potentially develop. So let's take a look at actually one of the models that actually have a lot of confidence in. And that is the COAMPS model. It's a high resolution model at 18 kilometers. Usually you get the GFS and no gaps ones I typically show here are above 60 kilometers. And the lower the number is, it means the more accurate it likely is going to be. But let's take a look at the next 48 hours. That's only as far as it goes out, and you see a rapid intensification from this storm bottoming out at around 970 HPA out here. So it looks like it could intensify very quickly, and we have been seeing that throughout the day. Lots of convection bursting out of this storm system. So remember, you heard it here at WesternPacificWeather.com first. There is a very good chance, I do think, that this storm could develop into something here. And NOAA as well is agreeing here with the probability of cyclonic formation. You have Invest 95W here, about 1 to 2 in the numbers here, but also off towards the east you have 96W. I do not think this is going to be developing up too much in the next several days. More likely it's this one here just towards the east of the Philippines. So where will it go? Well, that COAMPS model was showing a northerly direction ever so slowly working around the western side of the Western Pacific High here. I do think that's a very logical situation given the overall background flow before it pushes off towards the north, gets caught up with the westerlies, and eventually towards the northeast, where it actually could affect eastern Japan going into the early part of next week. Still very long range by that. You still need the storm to develop up in the first place. I don't want to scare people out here across Okinawa, even out towards Tokyo, but this is definitely something you will want to be keeping a close eye on through the rest of the week. And this is actually taking a look at GFS, a completely different platform from that COAMPS storm, and you can see that in the next several days, actually going out to Friday, they also have a slow development of a tropical system. So regardless if this does develop into something significant or not, I still do think that lots of rainfall, even the risk of landslides and mudslides could occur here on the eastern slopes of Luzon, extending down towards Visayas, especially along the mountain range. You got the Sierra Madre mountain ranges here in northeastern Luzon. A lot of that moisture could be pushing on shore, creating uplift, thus heavy rainfall and the risk of flooding. But even over towards Manila, some of these poor drainage areas, you could also be seeing the risk of flooding as this tropical area pushes off just east of the Philippines, then pushes off towards the north. But check this out, the GFS model expects this to bottom out and really start to deepen into the early part of next week before pushing off towards the northeast, and that's what I was talking about. And also here off towards the east, you could be seeing this storm system skim the east coast of Japan. Now, no gaps, and also the Canadian model actually push it a little bit farther towards the west, following that overall background flow. So like I said, this is actually almost a week out here, so still plenty of time to continue to watch this storm. But for the time being, the tropics, you are going to be continuing to bake down here in this warm weather. The southwest monsoon is also firing off thunderstorms here, and even off towards the north, rather warm temperatures here in Japan, even over towards Seoul, but you will be seeing those lows getting down to about the mid to low teens in the overnight hours. But take out here towards the west, because India, you have been absolutely baked. 47 is expected for the high tomorrow. There has been nearly 100 reports of deaths out here due to the extreme heat. You know that heat is kind of the silent killer. You don't hear about it too much in the news, but you have to remember this is well above average out across much of India. A very deadly situation at this time. Always stay hydrated if you are in these heat, obviously. And as we go in the next several days, it does not look like too much relief. So definitely we will also continue to keep an eye, and hopefully some relief will be in store here across most of that subcontinent. That's all for right now, everybody. Thanks again for watching here at westernpacificweather.com. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please post them in the comment box below. And stay safe out there. Have a great day. Bye. The 1st of June. Wow. Yeah. It's 30 days in May, right?
31st.
Oh, really?